Good afternoon. It is 10 to 1 and we are wandering around at the park. I wanted to talk to you today about your authenticity. I've realized throughout this journey that I've been on, this wilderness, waiting season, refinement period, all these different things that I've been walking through in this season and really learning how to surrender. One of the things that I've noticed and that has really jumped out at me is your authenticity scares some people. It frightens them and they pull away, especially if you've had the mask up for so long. We are all fearfully and wonderfully made. When you contort yourself to what other people think you are, you tend to scare them if you reveal who you truly are. It feels like a switch up and it feels to them like you've changed. And well, if this is how you really are, then how can I trust that that's how you really are, because I thought that the way you were before was how you really are. One of the side effects of constantly trying to please people instead of pleasing God. Galatians 1:10 reads, "Am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? Am I trying to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ." I was just talking to a gentleman today that I met at the park about that exact verse, and both him and I were talking about some of our struggles in that, and that cuts deep. It is a deeply hitting verse. When you truly reveal yourself authentically, you can feel so much more free. So what? So many people are obsessed with how others view them. Got to make sure this picture is perfect for Instagram. Got to make sure that this video is perfect for YouTube. What if I put the wrong tags on it? I think just about every single one of my YouTube videos has the wrong tags. I think every one of them might be tagged with Firefly time, when some of them are definitely not Firefly time, most of them. And that's okay. I think a lot of people are worried about what other people think way too much. And I know that that's easy to say, well, I just don't worry about it. Yeah, but that really is the fix, is to just not worry about it. Try asking yourself if your actions are pleasing to God. And if they are, if you lose friends because of that, I'd say that's a pretty good reason to lose friends. If people stop liking you because you start becoming your authentic self and you stop showing them a facade, you've just revealed who's in your corner and who's not. Now, that doesn't mean that those are bad people. In fact, the majority of the time, they're great people. They're just not the great people for you. A lot of people in my life during these seasons have been telling me what to do. They've been telling me, you should be doing this. You should say this. You should not get that tattoo. What if you want to get a job in this? And other people don't like that. As long as what you're doing is aligned and producing the fruit of the Spirit, He'll provide. He'll give you these small open doors, this message from this person that you've been waiting for a message from, this subtle change, little hidden thing in a post from somebody that really feels like it's just talking to you. These little openings, these little micro miracles, as I call them. And I think a lot of people, when they experience these little micro miracles, they're really tempted to go, I don't want to talk about that. What if people think I'm weird? What if people say it's just a coincidence? What if it's not it? What if I'm worshiping wrong? Or what if God doesn't work like that and people find it weird? Just don't worry about it. Now, again, I know that sounds super easy, but here are some things that have helped me. Sit with the idea of feeling weird. Sit with that idea and then ask yourself, does this thing produce the fruit of the Spirit? Also, does this thing make me happy? Because if it produces the fruit of the Spirit, it's pleasing to God. And if it makes you happy, then it's pleasing to you. And if those two things are met, the more that you follow that, it doesn't matter what anybody else is thinking. Because if you had to choose between having more people in your life who don't know you or having just a few people in your life that really, really do know you, which would you choose? I personally would say quality over quantity. I used to be the person who had so many friends it was stupid. Dungeons and Dragons night, we had up to 14 people at one table in my parents' house. And I considered them all my friends, but what I realized recently is that almost none of them truly knew me. Not really. They knew what I presented to them, what I thought was good, what I thought was cool. I had perfectly tailored my actions to be what they wanted and what they needed. And that's not only harmful for me because I have to put up this face, it's also harmful for them because they think that they're getting this thing that they really need, this connection that they need, but in reality it's not real. There's no depth to it. Now, not to say that if you are a people pleaser then your friendships are all shallow, but also I'm not saying that. So there's a process of pruning that you go through when you start being and acting as your full authentic self. And some people don't like you. Some people are intimidated by that authenticity because it reflects how little of themselves they actually express. Oftentimes, if people don't like you, it's because you either share a quality that they don't like in themselves, or you exemplify a quality that they wish they had. You know, if you're talking about your feelings and you're accepting responsibility and you're able to work through your emotions and come to clarity, and there's a person who is really emotionally unintelligent and can't talk about their feelings, they're probably going to completely cut you off. They're probably going to go, oh my gosh, what's wrong with you? And they might not understand that they're doing that because you remind them of how much of that quality they lack. They could recognize it. I guess the point I'm trying to make here is you should just be authentic because it scares away the people who are not really in your corner. And as I've found out over these past few months, it's far better to have the people who you know are in your corner than the people who you thought were in your corner and they crumble out from underneath you and they spit in your face and they start insinuating that you hit your ex-partner and they start spreading lies about you. And by the way, I've never hit my ex-partner. That's something I'm still trying to work on. I don't think I've quite forgiven that person for spreading that and continuing to spread that. But that's my thing to deal with. Anyway, so be authentic. I was watching a Instagram reel about people in the talking phase in relationships. Oh my gosh, how many times has he texted you? Has he texted you this? Has he done this? Oh, well, you don't want to double text. That seems desperate. Do you like the person? Text them, tell them, message them. Hey, by the way, I would jump on a live grenade for you. Scare them. Hey, this is the authentic me. I have this strange premonition of this activity with you. I've had this dream. What do you think of it? Now, this doesn't mean that you have to tell every person every thought in your head. And in fact, I think you should not. There are lots of things that you should not share. Sometimes we should know less about each other. But that's not what I'm talking about today. Show up authentically. Show up as yourself. If you want to send a text, send a text. If they don't reply, and you want to remind them, send them a reminder text. If you're starting to get worried and you want to call them, call them. There are so many different things that when you fully become and reveal your authentic self, becomes so much more life-giving. Sing loudly in the park, sing wherever. Open yourself up to being criticized for who you are, because it's better than people thinking you are one way when you're not really being honest with yourself. I guarantee you, people who are in your corner will appreciate your authenticity far more than they appreciate how you contort yourself to their every need, how you shrink yourself down because that's what you think they want. When I went through my separation, I was lamenting to my father about how I never told her about, her as in my partner, about the way I was feeling because I didn't want to burden her. I didn't want to put all of this on her. And so I hid it and I bottled it up, and that's how we got to here. And my dad said something that struck me like it was coming from Gandalf. It was such a wise and poignant, stinging phrase. He just said, "Did you ever stop and ask her if she wanted to be burdened by it?" Oh, man. And the answer is no. And that really, that really stung. Because it's like, man, if I had been my authentic self, if I hadn't hidden those parts of me from the person who I was supposed to trust with all of me, maybe she would have said that she did want to be burdened by it. Maybe I would have been able to heal so much quicker. Maybe I would have been able to change all those things about myself that I hated. Maybe I would have been able to follow Christ more clearly. Golly. I never thought to ask. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door will be open. There's a reason why almost every angel in the Bible starts out its encounter with, don't be afraid, be not afraid. Because the first instinct in most humans is to cower, shrink, and pull and hide aspects of themselves or all of themselves. That's biblical. That's shown time and time again. Jonah hid from his calling and he got swallowed by a fish. So as you go throughout your day, try to take time to let out little bits of that authentic self. I think you'll find that it feels really good to let that little bit out, to laugh at the stupid thing, to do a silly dance. Heck, dude, try to do a backflip, make a fool of yourself, and then get back up because it's funny, you know? I don't know, dude, whatever's authentic to you. Don't hide things. And if you find that people are shying away from your authentic self that you're expressing, well, just be kind to yourself, because I love the authentic you, and God loves the authentic you more. Have a blessed day.